there we have Shamil Kuramagomedov entering the cage.
And also the big thing for Magomedov,
Exactly.
which is, you know, now when the final comes, you can really let it hang. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
It's one fight and you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas at the semi-final, you got to make sure you get through, but you also get through without taking any damage into the final, which is the tough part.
Yeah, I mean, now you can just empty the tank and the fight that matters the absolute most. Here we have a red corners, Khalil Ибнухажаров, preparing to enter the cage.
And both fighters again from the same country. We've had this a few times today.
Yeah.
It's becoming a fixture for us.
Who will be the...
I always used to say, like, no one spars harder or fights harder than your friend, because you're going to hear it every day.
True.
So who's going to have the bragging rights here from the RMMAU?
Well, in 12 minutes or less, we will see. So far it is Kuramagomedov sort of pressing action early. No one's drawn first blood.
Again, very, very measured start. Both athletes feeling each other out.
Nice little strike combination there for Kuramagomedov. Nothing that lands with a whole lot of force, though.
Oh, some big shots thrown there. Yeah, these guys are going to try and finish it early by the looks of it.
I think so. That's a nice kick to the body there for Ибнухажаров.
Kuramagomedov, very nice boxing. You can see his hands are very high, very tight to the face, throwing very crisp shots. But his defense looks like a typical boxer. You can see the hands are high, tight to the face, throwing the punches. You know, it definitely looks like he comes from a boxing background of some sort.
And I really like the pressure that he's been putting on early. Just not giving Ибнухажаров any space to work properly.
You can see those little knee strikes coming in as well. Just damaging the legs. And we've seen what that can do in some of the other fights today. Is once those legs go, it just becomes tougher and tougher to manage. You can see straight back, it just keeps moving forward. Does very well at cutting the cage off.
There's definitely a tension in the air for these heavyweight striking exchanges.
He's been getting a lot of mileage out of the boxing through the leg kick and almost got taken down. I think he should stick to the boxing, keep that space.
Yeah. And Ибнухажаров has spent almost the entire round pressed up, like very near the cage. So clear advantage early here for Shamil Kuramagomedov.
Kuramagomedov's doing very well in controlling the cage and cutting it off so that, you know, his opponent can't move too much and get out of those spaces. I think if he can keep that control of the cage, that's what's going to stand him in good stead later, and also what's going to really let that boxing fly.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing lots of knees to the inside of the leg.
And no matter which fighter advances, they've got their work cut out for them in the final. Rasul Magomedov looked great in defeating Tom Holleman.
See there, just keeping his opponent pressed up against the cage. Keeps throwing those knees to the inside leg.
So far, Ибнухажаров's takedown defense holding up. Okay. First round is in the books, and yeah, no secret as to one that was Shamil Kuramagomedov imposing his will on his countryman, Khalil Ибнухажаров. And I wonder if perhaps Ибнухажаров will be a little bit more aggressive here in the second round, because he kind of let Kuramagomedov dictate the pace of that first round.
Yeah, and some guys come in a bit slower. You know, they start out a bit slower, and then they start getting stronger as the rounds go on. So it's in a tournament like this, it's a dangerous way to fight because you end up taking a lot of damage up front. But some guys, that's just how they fight. So will we see him coming out in the second round and being a bit more active, you know, pressing the action a little bit more and being a bit more dominant? Or will, you know, Kurmagomedov's boxing get him into those positions again where you can keep controlling him into the cage? I think the other thing for me is when he has him in the cage, what he needs to start doing is just pushing a little bit of dirty boxing. So push the head into the chest, push it under the chin, start hitting the body a little bit, throwing over with the hands. So when he's got that cage pressure, it's not just stagnant, that he's actually starting to throw a bit of punches as well.
Either way, Khalil Ибнухажаров needs to work his way back into this fight. All right, here we go. Sort of takes the lead here.
You can see the little feint just to see how his opponent reacts to it. Very measured approach here. But again, cutting the cage off very well. He sees where he's going and just moves into the position. He's got the underhooks in again. This is where, you know, you push the head into the chin, make it uncomfortable. Couple of shots to the body head, put it back into the underhook. Just keep the damage going as opposed to only the position. But relying very much on the knees, and they're definitely working for him.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got his opponent exactly where he wants him. But the thing with heavyweights is, I mean, it can be any second that heavyweight power could be unleashed, and we could see a vicious KO.
Went for the takedown, but grabbed the cage, and that actually stopped him from getting the dominant position. I think he's going to get a warning here.
Yep.
Took the point.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty egregious...
Him into the dominant position.
But the referee did not reset the position, however. Or put him on the ground. I mean, he's down a point, but Ибнухажаров.
Yeah, I think it was he knows he's behind. That takedown happens. He's going to be even more behind. So I think he took the chance of seeing if he could get away with it and not getting put at the bottom.
Another kick there from Ибнухажаров. He's thrown a lot of kicks so far.
I think Kurmagomedov must really start pushing forward to that boxing and then maybe attempt another takedown. You know, looking at what his opponent did to try and stop it, maybe that could be another position where he could be quite dominant.
Gotta say, but I'm a little bit surprised that Ибнухажаров is throwing. Oh, nice spinning back kick there. But I'm surprised he's throwing so many kicks because there is always the risk of your opponent catching them. And it's pretty clear that Kurmagomedov wants to get the fight to the ground. Catching a kick is a great way to start that process.
Nice inside leg kick there from Kurmagomedov as well. Just looking a bit tentative, you know, not really going after it yet.
Yeah. I mean, he could be saving his energy for third round. I mean, maybe just conceding the first two in hopes of getting a brutal finish in the third.
All or nothing third round.
Yeah. Well, 2 rounds in favor of Shamil Kurmagomedov. And
even a bit of frustration there as he shots between the rounds. I think he's a bit upset at himself over, you know, giving up the round. And now it is all or nothing.
This is where it counts. I mean, we've seen crazier things than fighters coming back from having lost 2 rounds. So things do happen in MMA where if you would have seen them in a movie, you would have said, yeah, that stuff doesn't happen in real life.
But it definitely does here.
One of the best examples, I mean, Korean Zombie versus Yair Rodriguez. Rodriguez was down every single round up until about 4 minutes and 50 seconds until he threw that hellacious elbow that ended the fight in brutal fashion. And if you would have seen that in a movie, you would have thought, okay, well, it doesn't really happen like that. But
well, now the pressure is on, and again, this is to see how it gets handled. Kuramagomedov knows he has to go for the knockout. He has to, in this position, stopping that.
Okay, nice defensive work there from Ибнухажаров. It was interesting. Did you see that? No touch of gloves for Kuramagomedov.
Again, straight back into the boxing stance, controlling the distance, controlling the cage.
Oh, nice scramble there from Kuramagomedov.
And now he's got the back as well. Not the position you want to be in when you're down 2 rounds.
Gets back to, all right, separates. That's great for Ибнухажаров, but he's got to get that knockout. It's clear he wants it. Oh, nice overhand right there.
And that's the punch he's got to go for. You can see that left hand is now lower from Kuramagomedov. He's not keeping that very tight boxing stance he was in the first 2 rounds. So that could be an opportunity.
But really, I mean, Kuramagomedov could just keep the fight here and win.
Yeah, he's not the one who has to take the risks.
Yeah.
So he could very well just, control the fight from here, keep him against the cage. There's no risk for him to get knocked out or finished.
I mean, the onus is on Ибнухажаров to make something happen so that the title battle sways into his favor. All right, referee separates them.
Oh! I think it was more of a slip there, but it definitely landed.
If nothing else, it could definitely be a bit of a morale boost. I'm not sure how much power was behind it, but it can give you that sort of little extra oomph. Nice solid inside leg kick there, though, from Kuramagomedov. Lead uppercut there from Ибнухажаров.
You can see the fighters are definitely a bit slower now. The hands are hanging a bit lower. The punches aren't coming in with the same sting. But also, this is where your mouth's hanging open. So a punch lands, this is what could actually cause the knockout.
So that was a nice lead hook there from Ибнухажаров. Final 10 seconds. You've got to go for it if you want it.
Oh! Whew. Nice little flurry there to end the round. Almost lands one.
Yeah. And some visible frustration there in the face of Halil Ибнухажарov. I'm sure he's very disappointed, and he knows he could have done a little bit more, but this is how you learn. This is how you become a better fighter as well. If your holes are not exposed, then you don't know what to work at. Or work on, rather.
And both fighters, very measured. I think they, could it also have been a bit of a teammate thing where they didn't want to absolutely kill each other?
Maybe, yeah. But if that's the case, then that style of fighting favors a grappler for sure.
Yeah.
So I would be frustrated too if that was the case, and I was Ибнухажаров. The official decision, we'll hand it over to DNM. Okay, so Shamil Kuramagomedov will face Rasul Magomedov in the men's heavyweight final.
And now we move on to the really big boys, the super heavyweights. A fighter that I know quite well, Pasha from the Kingdom of Bahrain.
That's right, Pasha Karkachev.